Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Miguel. Welcome back to an episode of Punch Drunk Nerd, a podcast where three friends, three amigos, come together to talk about nerd shit. I'm your host, Miguel Sanchez, and with me is...
Ed Bull.
You ruined it, Ed. We were doing an ASMR.
Damn it.
No, it's okay. We'll start over. I was just being silly. Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. I'm your host tonight, Miguel Sanchez, and with me is...
Ed Bull.
Ed Bull. Luis is out tonight. He's busy. He said, I can't make it. I'm working too hard.
And this is what we say to you, Luis. Fuck you, man.
In the British way.
In the British way. Fuck off.
You know what I mean?
Jog on.
Fuck off, yeah.
Let's do the whole podcast like that.
You won't fucking do it this way,
like
yeah?
this, all right?
All right.
All right. What you got in the news?
What is that? Like a what is that, like a townie accent? That's not right.
Townie.
Like, what kind of accent?
No, townie,
what is that?
yeah, like
it's like fuck yeah, I'm in town, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck off.
I know it's not like the breath of air with it. It feels so good.
Like a guffaw mixed with like out of breath, boozy.
It also just like straight like just hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever the other person say, fuck off.
Fuck off, yeah.
All right. Now we're being silly. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Luis is out tonight, so it's just us. We're being silly tonight. It's probably going to be a real quick one. We got a few quick news topics. You guys know the drill. We're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about what's coming soon. We're going to give a quick update on the summer movie wager.
Oh yeah, shit.
And then for our feature discussion, we're just going to do what we're into tonight. Okay, it's not a lot. You know, well, we're hanging out.
It's more specifically what Miguel is into, because
I was busy.
Miguel has the review of the week. I tell you what.
You think it's that? I don't know.
I mean, kind of. It's the most topical conversation we're going to have tonight.
I will tell you this: it's topical and
tropical.
We'll see where we go from there. Okay. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. We're talking about coming soon corner. All right, we're seeing what's coming soon. Ed, you put this on here.
I did. I just thought it was interesting. We're big fans of Michael B. Jordan on this podcast.
Yeah.
Not so much Luis, but he's not here to argue that case. But he
said some pretty disparaging things.
Very disparaging. But for us fans, we like Sinners, but Michael B. Jordan is looking to get back into the director's chair after directing Creed 3. And he's making... Miguel, have you ever seen any of the Thomas Crowne Affair movies? I say any. There's only 2 of them previously.
I was going to say, I looking at the title Thomas Crowne Affair, I knew there was at least one.
At least one.
And I thought that was it.
Okay. And that would be the 90s or early 2000s version with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. Does that ring a bell? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real sexy film.
It's a real affair.
A real affair. You know? A real sexy affair. So Pierce Brosnan, the original was Steve McQueen. And it's basically about this millionaire entrepreneur who, in his spare time, likes to steal expensive pieces of art. And and so I forget what bureau she works for, but Rene Russo's character is the one trying to catch him in the act as he goes in for one last heist, if you will.
I don't mean to like paint with a broad brush here, but very Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12.
Almost, but like if George Clooney and Andy, what's his name?
Warhol.
No. The bad guy from Ocean's 11.
Garcia?
Thank you. Andy Garcia. If George Clooney and Andy Garcia had really steamy sex.
Oh?
Yeah. Like she goes deep undercover, you know what I mean? Like
she goes deep undercover. Okay, all right. I see why they went a different direction with the Ocean's movies.
Right. But no, it's actually it's a fun little caper film. Very sexy. Pierce Brosnan doing his like devilish Bond take, but in a kind of loose fashion, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that might not pertain to what Michael B. Jordan is trying to do with this story at all, but he is in development of remaking it, and they've already announced a cast, including himself.
Let's hear it.
Including himself, he's brought on Kenneth Branagh, Danae, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Gurira, Lily Gladstone, hey, we all like her, and Taylor Russell of Bones and All fame, I guess, and other stuff. So if I had to bet my money on it, I feel like Michael B. Jordan and Kenneth Branagh are going to fuck.
No.
But
no.
Wouldn't that be...
No, I guarantee you that won't happen, okay?
How much do you want to bet?
Michael B. Jordan just coming off of Sinners and just absolutely derailing.
And he just wants to fuck.
I don't want to say derailing from Mike. I'm just saying that's a bold choice.
That would be a bold choice.
And I don't know if the audiences would
buy it.
I don't know. There's a lot of transfer of audiences.
Right.
Okay?
It's like, what the hell is happening again?
Could you imagine? It'd be like,
okay.
Especially following up just after he directed Creed 3. You're like, huh?
The Thomas Crowne Affair.
Oh, capital A.
Capital
Got
A.
it.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was an interesting choice for Michael B. Jordan as far as projects go. But I'm keen to see it. I didn't see Creed 3, I'll be honest, but I also didn't see Creed 2. It wasn't anything against him as a director. I just, it's not my franchise. But obviously he's a really good, talented actor. And Kenneth Branagh, I mean, all of these people are talented actors. So I think just cast alone has me intrigued. And this one is...
I was going to say, this is a pretty stacked cast.
It is.
I like this.
Like, it could be very interesting. So this is set to, no hard dates yet, but it's set to release in 2027.
2027.
So, yeah, I thought that was just like an interesting project that came about.
I also hate just how fast time is moving. Like, do you remember when they used to be like, "Oh, Avengers Endgame"?
Yeah.
The end of that movie takes place in 2025, and you were like, "Oh my god, that's the future."
You know what?
Now it's...
You know what I saw was a post earlier today of some guy tweeting the original slated the Batman Part 2 release, which was this October. And the guy tweeted is like, almost there, my brothers. I was just like, ooh. Knowing that we...
it's same thing where like a couple months ago we were supposed to get Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Shit,
you know what I mean?
And Blade.
And it's
right? Like... Blade was supposed to come out this year. Whew.
Yeah, it's crazy the projects we haven't gotten, but also
Marvel.
How far into the future we're looking. 2027. Hey, Ed, real quick, how old are you going to be in 2027?
Ooh, 6, 7, 8. 38.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'll be 36 this year. Yeah, I'll be almost as old as Luis.
I don't like it. Oh, good. Good.
That's a little age joke we have here on the podcast.
He's getting there. He's getting there. He's getting there.
He's so close.
He'll never admit it. No trailers. We're not talking about trailers this week, okay?
None.
But why don't we go ahead and get into the big thing that everyone wants to talk about, Ed? Okay? And it's the summer movie wager. All right?
Big thing that you want to talk about.
First off, I know we'll get there. Give us a quick recap. What's the summer movie wager? Go. For someone who's listening for the first time.
Okay, so Summer Movie Wager, every year we've been getting together around the end of April to predict what the top 10 highest grossing movies domestically will be of that summer. From the beginning of the summer to Labor Day weekend, basically. And so we predict 10 movies plus 3 dark horses. And obviously, every weekend with every new big release, the table shifts, numbers change, big surprises, big flops, we've been getting it all summer. It's been a rocky road for old Ed, let me tell you. But Yeah. So,
and I will say this: we initially planned for it to go on all the way through summer, but the fans are saying stop now.
yeah, that's what they're saying. That wouldn't have anything to do with where you're placed.
That's what I'm hearing.
Would it, Miguel?
Well, let's go ahead and run the ranking one more time, Ed. Where are we?
Let's see here. Ooh, not looking good. Yeah. Okay. Well, at a comfy number 4. Jesus Christ. You know, like I said. I've been vibes this year. This is my vibe year, apparently. I'm at the bottom with 42. No big deal.
That's great.
Tied in second and third are going to be officially Luis and unofficially Benny. And then right there at top, who could it be?
With what?
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Miguel. With 49 points right now. Should I go through the whole actual theatrical ranking, right, as it stands right now, or the movie?
Do
ranking?
The top 5. Do the top 5.
Okay,
just do the top 5.
Top 5 with the most recent release being Jurassic World Rebirth. It's shot all the way
now.
up.
Keeping in mind, we're recording. Yeah, Superman is coming out.
Right.
We're
by the time you're listening to this, Superman will have come out.
Yeah.
And whilst we're waiting on the box office, this is where it currently stands. So yeah, fresh in Jurassic World Rebirth with 174 million. Bravo. May it never die. Thunderbolts at number 4. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning at number 3. How to Train Your Dragon at number 2. And Lilo and Stitch comfortably at number 1 with $410 million.
Ooh. My God.
That movie did good. What can we say? And Miguel, I believe, it baffles me. I'm sorry, but it baffles me that as someone who didn't even have Lilo and Stitch on that list, that
all right,
you know, you are where you are. But I've made some.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go on then.
Years ago, like 10 plus years ago, I did something like this. It wasn't called a movie wager then. It was like a summer movie draft, and I did it with some theater friends of mine. And it was the year that Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I can't remember. We were drafting these movies, so it wasn't like everyone got to just put them on a list. It's like if you got it, you got to put it where you
and
wanted,
nobody else could pick it.
And yeah, exactly. And I, by the grace of God, was given Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I was like, I remember being like, holy fuck, I'm gonna win this whole thing. No, I didn't. I lost like pretty good. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you have like the one movie. It just depends. Like all these other little factors can come into play. And I'll tell you this, Ed, you're giving me shit right this week about, I can't believe Miguel is this high. Guys, this is it. All right. Like I took a screenshot of this because I knew. I mean, there's a couple other movies coming in, but it's just like you and I both have Superman pretty high and Fantastic Four pretty high. And then I want to say Luis and Benny. No, Luis at least has like one of those pretty high.
Luis has Superman.
But I just
pretty up there, but yeah, you know, I'll say this: I've been trailing all summer basically. I don't think I've had one good weekend. So all that to say, you know, I'm really just riffing to make myself feel better.
I'll tell you this though, I'll be knocked down a peg or 2 or 3. Okay, so don't worry. All right, we'll see how we end up when we end up. And just a reminder to Benjamin. Okay. All right. He's unofficial this year. That's what Luis promised us. Okay.
That's what he promised us. He right from the get-go.
But then I see his goddamn rankings.
I know. That's how he sold it to us, and that's how we're keeping to it. Lest there be 4 of us. But
at the end of the day, we'll all know. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, it's an interesting summer. I did not expect to. There's a lot of back and forth this summer, and I did not expect that. I kind of thought some like shoo-ins. When Benny said Lilo and Stitch number 1, I was like, oh man, totally. You know. But we'll see how it all goes.
We shall indeed. All right. Well, you know, speaking of these summer movie blockbusters, Miguel. You've got hot review coming in for the latest addition to our summer movie wager, Jurassic World Rebirth. Miguel.
I do, and that's going to bring us into our feature discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
Jurassic World Rebirth. Miguel, you got to see it.
Yeah, sorry, we were goofing off there. We're back into it. So for the feature discussion this week, we're going to do what we're into. And guys, I got very lucky. The other day, I got to do a double feature, a back-to-back. And I'll spread these out so we have time for everyone to talk. But I've very luckily the other day I said I want to go see these two movies this week. And my wife was like, why don't you just go see them both today? So it was, one was finger on the pulse and one was playing a little bit of catch up. So I'll talk about the most recent release for us, pre-Superman. Guys, I finally got to see Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to go ahead and throw it out there. No one on this podcast was going to go see this movie. Okay. I was the only one. Ed and Louise said, no, we will not be seeing this movie. And can I tell you guys something? Fair, valid. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Good job. Good for you, honestly. I went to go see this movie. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm going to just throw it out there right away. Mostly negative. Okay. I would say the defining factor of this movie is Chris Pratt is not in it. Okay.
I was wondering, the way it kept coming up in conversation, I did seriously think, oh my God, he does have a cameo in this.
I was worried. But with the way that Chris Hemsworth was in F1 for 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, more like a second, if they did that with Chris Pratt, it was while I was in the bathroom. Okay. So, as far as I'm aware, he was not in it. Although I will say this, I will have one caveat for this whole review.
Okay. So
if you come at me in the comments, it's this. I did see this movie and F1 literally back to back. I was, AMC is now putting a warning when you buy your tickets. They go, just so you know, the time that you book, at least 25 to 30 minutes later is when the movie's going to start, because we're playing that many trailers and commercials. And I literally timed it with that in mind, going, okay, the movie ends right as basically F1 is going to start. So where I thought the movie was ending, I was like, this is it. They're about to roll the credits. I left. And about 3 minutes later, when I was downstairs in the other theater getting my water and walking into the other theater, the crowd was walking out of the other one. So I was like, there's maybe about 3 minutes of movie right at the end that I potentially missed. But I would tell you this, they were telling you it was over. Okay. It was like literally riding off into the sunset. So anything that happens after that, if I missed it, you guys will let me know in the comments. Okay. Hey, that's enough context. What a fun podcast. Okay. So
see you next week,
guys. I saw Jurassic World. I got to tell you right away. This was maybe better than the Jurassic World sequels as far as like Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. Okay. But I will say this, it was soulless. Okay. What a boring movie this was. None of the action pieces were thrilling. At no point was I on the edge of my seat worried. I will tell you this, the thing that I think they did like the most wrong was trying to be like, hey, do you guys remember Jurassic Park? And it was just a lot of not necessarily regurgitating beats. They were like, no, this is a new movie, until they did like a beat for beat shot for something. And it was like, oh man, you guys are just trying to like tap into the nostalgia of the first movie. Specifically, think about when Alan Grant and them get to the island for the first time, and then they see like the brontosaurus or whatever, and it's like the music swells and it's like, welcome to Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? They tried to capture that moment with long necks in the field, and it was like a moment where all the people were like, oh. And then the music swelled, and it was just like, oh, okay. You guys are just like, it's just like a trend on TikTok. You know what I mean? It's like, we're just regurgitating what the other person did before us and hoping you guys like it, because look, we did it, right? And that was really disappointing. The second thing is they did like, in Jurassic Park 2, when they're in the facility and like the gymnast daughter is like kicking the velociraptor in the building, and then like one of them is in a Jeep and one of them is inside, like that You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? They have a whole scene for that too, where they also merge in Jurassic Park the raptors in the cafeteria, the kitchen, like the like click click on the ground and the spoon falling, like that scene. It's like they blend those two moments from both of those movies into one scene here, and so it was just like, oh man, you guys are, and it. Oh, but when you know what, it's also a mutant dinosaur, not the one from the trailer. This one has wings, you know, like a griffin from Harry Potter or whatever. It's like. Oh, okay, cool. So here's the new mutant dinosaur, but I just don't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
Like, and that is ultimately the whole Jurassic Park trilogy series. I mean, kind of from like 3 and 4 on. Like, I think Jurassic World was a fun movie. I think that very first Chris Pratt one was a lot of fun. It was engaging. There were moments where I was on the edge of my seat. But in this one, it just too much and too little all at once, if you can believe it. I feel like I'm talking in like vague whatever's now. Can I spoil a couple things for you?
I want to hear it. I'll have some questions for you in a minute, but go for it.
Chime in whenever too. Interrupt me and be like, Miguel, I've got questions. Okay. So first off, the trailers, obviously, you know, Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, like that. This is the cast. But then they randomly introduce. I'm trying to think of what we know of him. Do you remember the guy from Game of Thrones when he was the original? What was his name? The guy that was
Dario
like the hired sword, the original Dario Naharis, not the new guy, the original one. He shows up at one point, and you're like, oh, cool. And I honestly think they put him there to be the big name, the big face that gets killed, because no other big name and big face gets killed in the movie, and they set him up to be this like Rupert soldier Friend? With. Okay, second big name to get killed. Okay,
I only took
Rupert Friend is the bad guy.
I only took that from the trailer, because they paint him to be that, guy.
And they get the bad guys get their comeuppance. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But it was like he showed up out of nowhere, and it was like, oh, he's going to be like the soldier with the weapons, and like the very first time a dinosaur is introduced, he gets killed, and you're like, okay, cool. So Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali has a whole storyline to him that was very underbaked. Wouldn't you know it? Him and his wife, who's not on screen, him and his wife are divorced because they lost their child. Don't know what age he was, if he was a baby or if he was a teenager or an adult, but they lost their kid at some point before the story. So he's very protective of the kids that come into the movie. However, he gets very little screen time with any of the children in the movie. So you don't really like feel that like fatherly presence, until the very end. You see it in the trailer where he lights the flare, and that's literally what he does, is like, oh, I'm going to get him away from the kids. And you think, oh, he's sacrificing himself. But then they don't even commit to that, because 30 seconds later, they find him in the water and he's like, I'm still alive. There is a family in this movie. It's a father with his 2 daughters. One is a child. One is like a college age kid. And the college age daughter has a boyfriend who's joining them on this journey. They're one of those like sailors. They're like in a little boat that they're sailing across the ocean with. You know what I'm talking about? Like, imagine one of those types of scenarios. And wouldn't you know it? The college boyfriend is such a lazy bum. He's not going to do anything with his life. Except
save the family.
Save the family when he's supposed to. I will say this. He did, and I've seen other reviews that say this. He was maybe the only like moment of the entire movie that like got people on edge. He had a funny moment that was kind of then upstaged by his own really scary moment. You were like, oh, this is it. They're gonna kill him off right now. And it was just one of those things where it was a sandwich where it was funny, and then it was really scary, and then it was funny. And so of the whole movie, that was the only one moment that was tense. Like, oh shit, this is it.
With which dinosaur?
Every other. What's that?
With which dinosaur? Like,
it was the raptor. The raptor showed up.
Okay.
And it was doing that thing where it was like, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, clever girl, you know what I mean? It was like gonna get her. And then the new flying raptor swooped in and like scooped it up and flew it away while he was taking a leak. And it was one of those things where everything was happening behind him. So the audience knew it was happening, but he didn't. He was like, do. And then it's like he realized, oh shit, I'm about to be eaten. And then it was over. And then he peed some more and it was funny. I feel like I feel like I'm not really giving a really cohesive sense. I'm really just like going back now, thinking about all the moments that were just, oh, Ed, hang on. Let me take a half step back. Let me tell you when I knew this was okay. They're making a lot of really silly choices and it's going to be bad. Okay. Yeah. The very start of the movie. So you've seen it in the trailer where the guy gets locked behind the door. He's like, open the door. And then like the mutant dinosaur comes up behind him. Okay. You've seen it in the trailer. Yeah. That's how they open the movie. Take back 30 seconds before that. What's happening is the guy, he's got his mask off on his head and he's like typing in the code. Like, okay, open the door. And she's on the other side typing the code, but he's also eating a Snickers, TM. All right. They're going to see a lot of branding in this movie. He's eating a Snickers, and right as the door opens, he's like, he eats the Snickers and the wrapper falls to the ground. And then the wrapper gets sucked into the door mechanism, which then causes this to go on the fritz. And that's not even the worst part.
Boy.
Okay. You think, oh no, the door's not going to shut and that's how it's going to get out. Worse. The door goes on the fritz and the entire security system, you see it on a computer screen. The entire security system goes error, shut down. And it shuts down goosh, all the security systems because this one door couldn't close. And it's like, in what world? What world would a dinosaur zoo need this one door to fail before all of the other things have to fail just because this door wouldn't shut?
From a Snickers wrapper.
From a Snickers wrapper, TM. And it's just like, wow, all right, that was pretty fucking stupid. And then the rest of the movie tries not to be stupid, but it's just so boring.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I can't believe how many people I'm seeing on the internet. And I really am not trying to sound like this. I'm not trying to sound contrarian or whatever. I just cannot believe how many people are coming out of that movie saying that was actually really good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. That was better than the other Jurassic Park movies. That was the thing that people are really giving it is, wow, that's like a summer popcorn movie. And if you're thinking too much into it, that's your fault.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know, man. It just like, it wasn't even fun on a silly level, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I will say this, last point is, like I said earlier, I did see this on a back-to-back. I saw this movie and one other movie, and I saw this one first. And I'll tell you this, if I had seen this movie second, okay, I would have walked out. And I would have walked out. I don't care if Luis had yelled at me. I don't care, whatever. I would have been like, no, I'm sorry. That was boring. I fell asleep at one point, and it was like the first movie I watched. And I was just like, I'm done. Yeah. This is not for me.
Okay, so quick questions, and then we can move on to the real one. Did it feel like Gareth Edwards added anything to it?
It was a beautiful looking movie. Okay. I'll tell you that.
Right.
You've seen these Gareth Edwards movies where they just look really good, and he's obviously made movies that people really fucking love. So I see why. And so it's two things. He's done Rogue One, which was arguably one of the better Star Wars movies of the Disney era. And he's also done Godzilla, which is the big monster movie. So it's like, okay, clearly these two things should work for Jurassic Park, right? But I just felt like he was coming in to provide his little bit of taste to
like visual,
like an already pre-planned movie, you know?
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
All the dialogue.
It's more of a studio film, and they got a hired gun, you know, to shoot it or whatever. It's like, hey, just make this look good. Here's your shitty script.
Make it look good.
Yeah.
Here's the shitty dialogue. Yeah. Here's basically the Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey cast, like they're like group A, and then this family is group B. I meant to say this earlier, and they are on different paths throughout the entire movie, and then they converge again at the end. And all of group A is basically just exposition. Like, let's tell you everything you need to know that happened before this movie, whether it relates to the Jurassic Park movies or it relates to our characters, so you know what's going to happen to their arcs at the end of the movie. Okay. Just very boring, very shallow. Yet again, Ed, your big guy, the mosasaur, just showing up for no reason, doing fuck all with him. And and one last thought before we move on. The whole Jurassic World thing, they walk that back so hard at the beginning of this movie. They basically are like, none of the dinosaurs, because of climate change, none of the dinosaurs can survive anywhere. Any of the dinosaurs that we've captured in zoos, and like, imagine like a zoo in Philadelphia or whatever, that dinosaur is in the streets dying because he can't survive in this climate. And the only way the dinosaurs can survive is, wouldn't you know it, on the original island. But not the original island, the other original island.
I mean, there's like 20 islands.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well,
So, Jurassic World, I would say this. I promised myself, Ed, 2 movies ago, I would never see one of these in theaters again. And I got suckered into seeing this one.
You sucker.
And I should have listened to myself. I wanted to be the guy. Everyone, you guys said you guys weren't going to go see it. So I thought, I'll go see it.
And bless you.
I'll have a good time.
For doing that. I hope there would be like some sort of redeeming quality at some point. Yeah. But it does seem like the general feeling towards this film has been pretty much the same. It just like I remember when that first trailer came out, it just felt so bland. Like it wasn't offering anything new.
Yeah.
Nothing really exciting. I mean, they really have to stand back and just think, like, is there anything really to squeeze from this franchise?
And that is all they're doing at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was nostalgia. What if we try to do the first one again? Not try to do it, but what if every now and then we go, hey, you guys remember the first movie?
Right.
You're like,
here we go.
Okay. Which is where I think some people like it. Some people that grew up not watching the original movie, and I'm not trying to sound like a boomer or whatever, but I think that's really all it is like they're capturing an audience that did not see the original in theaters, did not grow up watching it. Yeah. And so maybe they felt something in these moments, but I just felt like they were just really cheap copycats of the moments that we've already seen. And if you've seen Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2, and you've seen the iconic moments from kind of the big set pieces overall, you've seen this one. So,
oh well, I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And I did have another really great movie right after this that I had a good time. But I don't want to talk too much about me because I've been blathering on. Ed, I would love to know what you were into.
Oh, I was going to talk about it. I've just been. A little angel, Luis Gonzalez, has, given us more content to watch as ever. And I've just been rewatching a beloved show called Fawlty Towers, which is like an English sitcom from the late 70s, early 80s. But it's
Fawlty Towers. How do you spell that? Fawlty.
Fawlty.
Faulty. So not spelled correctly, which is what you guys do.
Yeah, but it's slapstick. John Cleese. Yeah. He created the show, and it's 2 seasons, 6 episodes per season. I'm already into the second season, but I mean, it's a great little thing. I grew up watching it, obviously, but It is one of those great comedies that, kind of has lasted throughout time. There are some of those, kind of rough, I wouldn't even say episodes, it's just like moments, but very much of the time. But generally very funny, like John Cleese at his utmost best. And yeah. I'm just relishing that. I'm rewatching Andor, so it's been a nice balance to have that gripping drama.
A little palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly. And then lastly, I just wanted to share something, a little splurge that I made, not made. Why?
Oh, yeah.
On Etsy. So I'm a fan of Hook, right? And I like playing pretend. So I got this little number. I got the Peter Pan sword.
Oh my god!
Which,
oh my god!
It's beautiful, isn't it? So probably definitely like a 3D printed thing. It's very fragile. It is made of plastic, but it is one of these folding little swords, or whatever you want to call it, retracting.
Did you press a button?
No,
and it came out.
No. I just flipped it out.
Oh, I see.
Like the lightsabers used to do.
Yeah.
So I
it makes a really fun noise that I'm sure our audience loves to hear, but it actually, you can hear like the plastic.
You can feel the grain of the plastic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said, this was a splurge. This was more than I would have typically paid for a toy sword. With that being said, it's not one that you can readily start banging against other things.
I was going to say, this is more of a showpiece,
more of a showpiece, mounted on my wall. But
what wall?
Right here, baby. Just put it right here.
Where no one can see it on the podcast? That's good.
So I didn't know how it's going to turn out, to be honest, but I got it for my daughter, and she appreciated it. Like I said, it's just upon receiving it, it was pretty clear it's not one of those that you want to play roughhouse with. Yeah, but
you don't want to bang-a-rang it.
You don't want to bang-a-rang it. But it is pretty cool. It's pretty iconic for me, anyway. This, for me, is the defining sword of Peter Pan. And sorry, I need to stop doing that because of the noise. But it made me happy.
When you go on Amazon and you buy something and then they show you at the bottom, customers who bought this also bought this. Right. Was there one on Etsy for the whole Peter Pan loincloth? You know what I mean? Like the Robin Williams.
No, but better believe when I say I've, done some digging for that same outfit.
Because you want to wear it,
right?
You want to run around.
Do that for Halloween.
Can I say? I'm going to say something, and I don't want it to come across as rude. So we'll Luis, cut this if you want to. Okay,
let's hear it.
But Ed, you've lost a good amount of weight recently. You look really good, and I'm not saying you lost 100 pounds or anything. I wasn't saying it wasn't severe on the other way. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're looking good.
Be Robin Williams and Hook.
I think you could be Robin Williams and Hook in a way that's that's Hook, man.
Dad bod Peter Pan, yo.
That's what I'm saying, dude. So I would just say, and I think our listeners probably agree, is October 2025, Halloween.
Peter Pan.
Pan's
back. Pan's back.
That's
right.
You
would know that's a quote from that movie.
If you've seen it, you know it.
You've seen it, you know.
Okay.
All right, Miguel. Let's cap it off.
Let's wrap up. Yeah, let's be done with this. And I'm not going to talk too long about this because, guys, the last thing I was into, I told you I did a back-to-back movie. I was just insanely FOMOing out the mouth. Okay, that Ben, Luis, Ed, they all came on the podcast last week and they said they saw Brad Pitt's Apple's latest F1, the movie F1. And I knew I wanted to see it. I just didn't get a chance to before the podcast last week. And when I said I wanted to, my wife said, go watch both of them. Go have a good time. So I did them back to back. I saw Jurassic World first. Thank God. I ran downstairs, took a quick bathroom break. I think, and I think in my heart of hearts, I knew, I grabbed a quick water. I grabbed my seat, which quick little seat saga. I'll be so quick with it. When I bought my seats that morning, the entire row, D row, was empty. And I thought that was in the front section, the front section of the IMAX of my theater. But no, the only two rows in the front section were A and B. And then it became C, D, and then all of the rest of them behind there was the main section. So when I showed up all of a sudden D was entirely packed minus the one seat. I was like, oh my God, is that my seat over there? And I had to like check my phone. I was like, what seat did I book? I never would have done this. And so I ended up sitting on row C was completely empty for the most part. And so I ended up sitting right in the middle of row C, just like sweating that someone was going to walk up and be like, this is actually my seat, even though it said it was empty.
I hate that anxiety. But I never have it because I always sit where I book.
Where you're supposed to, I know, and that's on me. But I was just like, it says it's empty, and literally, like I said, it was back to back. The movie was starting right as I got in the theater, and so I was like, okay, if they show up 10 minutes late and they ask me to move, I'll move. Right. But when I looked at the theater seat right at that moment, it was empty. So I was like, okay. And luckily, no one ever showed up. I got that seat, and it was a pretty decent one. A little bit of a crane neck, but not too bad. Okay. I know you wouldn't have loved it, but it was fine.
Well, yeah,
okay?
No, there is something to be said though about where, I mean, on top of like your comfort level too. Definitely IMAX theaters are always different. It's never consistent at the height ratio.
Absolutely.
So like I have it locked down in my mind like where that cutoff is. And you recall when I went to go see this movie, I showed you and Luis like my two options. I had the safe. You
were not going where I was.
I had the safe option, which was way back, and then there was the closer one, which I ended up taking, and it was just right. But any further, I would have been like, no. You know what I mean? And so I think generally I'm like maybe, so you've got the kind of like the front third. I'm usually towards the back of the second third.
And that's what I thought I was doing with this. And I later realized like, no, and if you come to my theater, you'll understand in my movie theater, it's not a true IMAX. It's not what you're thinking. Like when you and I saw Gravity at the IMAX in Houston, I felt like I was falling into space. Yeah. That's not what this movie felt like. But I will say this, the sound was great. The picture was decent. I was a little close, but oh my God, what a fun movie. I do think it was like very cliche at times. It was very Top Gun Maverick of a dialogue of a script. You know what I mean? There's the underdog and the older underdog, and they got to come together to be on the same team. You know what it is.
Mary Poppins.
But I will say this. I wouldn't say that, but okay. I would just say this though. The movie looked so cool. Yeah. Every time, I mean, I said this to Luis because I talked to him separately because he wasn't going to be on tonight. Every time Javier Bardem came on screen with his little fucking reactions, you know what I mean? Like I was like, give him the Oscar. He stood up like a fucking genius. Like obviously he's
so good.
So good. So good. So good. I mean, it's just everyone looks so good in this movie. And you can tell like Apple really put out for this movie. There were just where I could bitch about all the cliche, boring, whatever things about Jurassic World. F1 did some cliche things, but they were not boring. I tell you what, it just was like, this feels like this movie. I do think, I will say this, of all the people, Brad Pitt was the most like, just like typical performance. And that might not be the right word, but it was just like very standard Brad Pitt in this type of role. He was the only one that I walked away going like, I've seen this before. And he has Oscar winning roles where I was like, you absolutely deserved that Oscar and nomination.
He has one Oscar winning role.
Exactly. Well, but that's what I'm saying is like he also has nominations.
Sure.
So it's like he has roles that he won, and he also has roles where he was just nominated, but they were deserved. Yeah. I think.
I will say
this is a movie where I felt
that,
like was
like
just
Tom Cruise equivalent, like on Maverick. Yes. It's just like he came in and he showed up and he does what he does best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but can I say though that compared to both movies and both roles, I do think Tom Cruise did a little bit better on that one, simply because it was a different ball game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a different emotional through line, I think. Like, he had an emotional connection to the character he was raising.
I thought, exactly. I thought if you had to compare a role, Moneyball, Brad Pitt was very comparable. And I thought I loved him in Moneyball. Yeah. You know what I mean? This one, he had a couple of moments where he had like that Moneyball moment. What are you cheering for? What are you smiling for? What are you happy for? That type of dialogue, you know? And I just was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, he's nailing it, but just a little like predictable. But I will tell you this: every single other person in this movie, stars, absolute stars. Carrie Condon, star. All right, put her up there. I want to see her in more things. And also, when you see her in fucking promos for this movie, I don't want to sound like I'm this. Hang on. I don't want to sound like misogynistic or whatever, but she is just so adorable.
I said that, but she.
Okay. She just oozes chemistry in a certain way. And she went on like,
but without being like, without losing her position,
lovable
in the film. Like you still respect the hell out of her. Like you buy her character, you buy that she got there. Like, and she has,
on her own.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she also doesn't put up with bullshit either.
No, and when it ultimately comes down to the romance between her and Brad Pitt, it is not one-sided. It is very much like he wins her over and she wins him over. Like they both respect each other. And I see her in all these promos for the movie too, and I'm just like, man, she is a star.
Yeah.
Like put her in everything. I want to see her in every like press junket for every movie. Damson Idris, am I saying the name right? He plays the I'm blanking on the name. Pierce, right?
Yes, Josh Pierce, right?
Josh Pierce. I wanted to say John Pierce. He is so good. Star on the rise. I was telling Luis, like, obviously he's been in Snowfall. That was his really big thing, leading into his movie career that he's having now. But I would say this, man, there's talk of them making him the new Black Panther, like potentially being like the new T'Challa. I've been hearing that rumor, and I'll tell you this, whether that happens or it doesn't happen, they would be so fucking lucky to get him. He is a star, dude. He was so good in this movie. At no point did I feel like, even if he was maybe the more green actor on set, you know what I mean? Just because he's a little more newer than some of the other actors, he looked like he'd been doing it. You know what I mean? So good. And then, of course, Javier Bardem, just absolute talent, coming on screen, showing you that he can show up and show out. Even if he doesn't have dialogue, you see him on that film. You feel him on that film. And that is just the acting performances. You guys, the editing, Luis was so right. Some of these shots are incredible. You feel like you were in the car racing along, but you also feel the tense moments from the pit, from the booth, from the screen. You feel it at every facet of the race. Just how tense it is. Now, I did hear the criticism that, F1's not actually like this, and it's not this, it's not that. I tell you that I understand that.
I didn't say that.
What for a movie? No, I'm not talking about outside of our podcast. But I would just say this, for a movie, this is so fun, so exhilarating. I wanted to call my dad right away and be like, bro, get your ass into this theater. This is such a fun movie. So I don't want to overtalk it because you guys did it all last week, but I would just say, easily a 9 out of 10. For me.
Good.
This was really, really good. And of course, I know I kind of nitpicked Brad Pitt, but that's the kind of thing that can happen when you have Brad Pitt's career. When you are so good at what you do, that sometimes you have some that feel a little like, that's not as good as, the best thing you ever did? Yeah, of course not.
Right.
But he's just equally as fun in this movie.
But you could look at it and it's not like a bad performance. It's just like,
at all.
It's
not
just
at all.
like, this is a great, by the numbers, yes, but also just solid. Like
he's doing it.
I think it was I was remiss to have missed it on the podcast last week, but that moment in Las Vegas where he's talking to Carrie Condon about like why he was doing it, why he was chasing this, and just like that moment where he like really gets into it. Because he has this, the great thing about Brad Pitt, is he has this kind of like boyish quality to him at, the ripe old age of 60 or whatever.
That like all American teen, but he's just like, he's grown up
that
now.
Twinkle in his eye, kind of like, but you believe it. What's more is he makes you believe that like, that is what you're going after. And man, I hope you get it. And he does, which is great. It's just one of those, like I said, he could play it with his eyes closed, but like that's
but
why
he still brings
that's
something.
why they chose him to do it, you know.
Two really quick points on just what you just said is when he has his moment at the end, he prefaces it by saying like it feels like flying. You know what I mean? And it's a little cheesy. Okay, I get it. It's a little cheesy because they go, "What's happening?" And Carrie kind of goes, "He's flying." Or whatever. I'm not going to do the accent. Sorry, but the silliness of that, the dialogue aside, I felt it in that moment. It was like that moment where the rumble kind of the sound stopped. Yeah. The sound didn't stop, like, you know what I mean? Like the rumble, pulse. And it just like exactly the pulse. All of a sudden, he was in line with that car, which was in line with the track. And even if he was dealing with all of his health issues, he was flying through that. And I felt it in that moment. I just thought this was awesome. The other thing is this: can I say, as by the numbers, as like whatever you can think going into it, it still surprised me on my very first viewing. I thought, number one, that two things. Damson Idris's character, Pierce, I thought he was going to die in his crash. I thought they were legit going to do it, Toy Story 3 style. Cool. They were going to kill all of the toys right there in that moment. And then that's where Brad Pitt was going to take over and win the race for him. I thought that's the direction they were going to go, okay? And then they bring him back, and it's like, okay, and what a solid moment, first off, just like tearing him away from the fire. The whole audience went silent. Yeah. It was such a good moment in the movie. All that to say is, when it came down to the end of the movie, the final race, I truly did not know who was going to win between Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. I said, they have set both of them up to win this and lose this.
Because, the main projection early on is Brad Pitt is trying to get him to win. Right, get him up through the ranks.
Yes.
And because he's not in it for the long run, he's there for the season. Whereas Damson Idris is
like starting his career.
Exactly. So he's trying to boost that. Yes. So naturally, and for the most part of that race, you think that's what they're setting up. It's like, you can win this in the last 3 laps. That's all you need.
And as an audience member, that's all I'll say is, we talk about, like, we see movies all the time. We can predict kind of storylines sometimes. And I think that on the whole, when you go back to this movie, you'll feel those predictable beats. But in the moment, for the first time viewing, I said, I think this kid's really going to win this. And I just think that's what's beautiful about the structure of this film is it like makes you think that.
And believe it.
And believe it. And then when it
feeling manipulated, like not manipulated or just like, hamstringing you along the whole way. It's just like, you're immersed, you're invested at that point.
They both earned that very last moment, you know, and that's it. I don't want to talk too long about this because you guys talked about it last week, but I would just say, what a fun movie. Again, like I said, I'm so glad I saw it second after Jurassic World. If I had seen it the other way around, I don't think I would have made it halfway through Jurassic World. I think I would have.
It was like dessert.
Because I would have I think I would have been spending, if I'd flipped the order, I think I would have spending the first half of Jurassic World thinking, F1. My God, F1 was so good. You know, God, that was so good. I think maybe I'll go see if I can find another movie playing right now. But anyway, so that's it, guys. Quick, easy episode. Ed, do you have anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Nope.
That's it. Okay. So quick, easy one there for the audience, for Luis. Nice little less than an hour. Wow, you guys, we love you. All right. We love an early night. So that's been a Punch Drunk Nerd. Follow us on socials, like us on all your favorite platforms, leave us a review, 5 stars, or fuck it, give us a 1-star review. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. But tell us why. No. But yeah, that's the podcast. It's Punch Drunk Nerd. I'm your host, Miguel Sanchez. With me is
Ed Bull. Next week, we're going to be talking about Superman.
No, sorry, you guys. Thank you, Ed. We are for sure going to be talking about Superman next week. Obviously, this episode comes out and Superman is currently airing in theaters. Go see it. We will be talking about it, and we will be hot and excited, I'm sure. So until next time, later, Gators.
Adios.
Bye-bye.